It's almost nap time. Alright, I'm gonna try my best to get her distracted so I can film for you guys. I don't like to really show her upset, but she's just a little cranky right now. Alright guys, I don't think that's gonna work. You're so cranky right now. Guys, I'm sorry for the bad lighting. This teething's so bad. And you know why I can tell? I mean, I feel like every single mom usually knows, but she's thankfully not having trouble sleeping through the night so far. But she's just, I can tell she's extremely tired right now. Like, she's actually leaning her head fully on me right now, but she just doesn't want me to let her go. Mommy doesn't like seeing you upset, right? You see yourself? Okay, I finally got her to sleep. Yeah, I don't normally like to show that, but I am showing it because I feel like so many people here on YouTube don't show the real reality with children. Like, they kind of just show like the good parts of it. But hopefully I can start making videos about motherhood in itself once we get past all this infertility stuff. I know that's like a big cloud of, I don't know, I'm not making sense, but it's just a big topic, I guess, going on in my life, which is why I'm recording most about that. My coffee got cold, so I'm gonna reheat it up. Get to what I have to talk about, or what I want to update you guys with. Something I've really been struggling with, and I want to just point out this for the couples that are also going through, I guess, secondary infertility. Now, you clearly can see that I have a baby, and you must be wondering, well, Courtney, you already have a baby. Why are you so upset that you can't conceive? You should be grateful and happy that you have one. Those are honestly thoughts that go through my head constantly, that I feel like I don't deserve to feel this upset and consumed at the fact that I can't have a second baby. I don't want to say can't, but right now it's a no. We can't just start trying this month and know we're gonna get pregnant, basically. It's a hard thing, a really hard thing to go through. Number one, infertility in general. I mean, I have so much guilt that I'm feeling like this for the people that don't even have a baby. So many people out there that are also dealing with, already have a child or a baby, and then they very much can't go on and conceive their second or third or fourth child. It's never easy whenever you want to extend your family and then you just kind of can't. But that's something I struggle with on a daily, is like, I don't deserve to feel this upset and consumed, and I shouldn't feel like this, but it is how I'm feeling. And I also do feel like you should follow, and I don't want to say embrace how you're feeling, but it's okay to feel how you're feeling. Like, there's a lot of people going through secondary infertility, and it's normal, and I don't know if I'm making sense. It's something I'm struggling with on top of already failed treatments and going through all of this. About a week ago, I called my doctor with our results, with everything that was going on. I told him when I saw at the ultrasound how on cycle day 12 I had really thick, nice lining, but I had no dominant follicles. And I'm like, well, is there a chance that I would have grown a follicle maybe within the week? And he said, pretty much if you didn't see a follicle then, I'm most likely not going to ovulate. Now, this morning, I tested with the Proov test. What this tests for is progesterone, just like ovulation test for LH, pregnancy test for HCG. This tests for progesterone. Now it can detect up to 5. If your progesterone is at like a 5 and above, it'll come out positive, and if it's below that, it's gonna come out negative. Now, the thing about the Proov tests, you actually want to see one line. That's what's crazy. So 2 lines pop up, that means it's negative. Now this morning, when I took my test, a week after, I thought I could have ovulated, this is how my test came up. I don't know how well if you can see that. There's 2 lines and it's kind of dark, so I know my progesterone's extremely low. Now, about over a week ago, I was using, for this whole cycle, I started using the clear blue digital ovulation tests. Now for I think it was 5 to 6 days straight, it all said low fertility, and then it jumped up to peak fertility. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And I took out the test and it didn't even look that dark. So I honestly didn't believe it. It's also using the easy at home test strips that I kind of believe a little bit more, but the clear blue had such great ratings, it's accurate, blah, blah, blah. So it said I ovulated, or I was going to ovulate, and based off of that, a week from today, or 8 days after that, when my progesterone should technically be higher, and the only reason why I know that is because with my past fertility cycles, usually when you get an IUI, a week later you test your progesterone. It's usually higher enough where these tests should have picked it up as positive. It actually did that. My last cycle came out positive because obviously I took a fertility drug. The clear blue digital tests definitely was defective, and I'm definitely never going to use that ever again because number one, it was $30 for 10 tests, and obviously not accurate because I clearly didn't ovulate. These tests are confirming it, and also through my basal body temperature confirmed it too that I didn't ovulate. So that was a little bit disappointing, but also not shocking because this is what I'm going through. I am anovulatory. I don't ovulate for whatever reason. So another thing that I mentioned with my doctor when he pretty much said, you're most likely not going to ovulate. He was right, tests are right, my feelings were right, thinking that, nothing was gonna happen this cycle. So I started Provera. These little pills right here. So usually you get prescribed 10, you take them for 10 days in a row and usually get your period anywhere from 2 to 7 days later. So basically what this does, it's a form of progesterone, but not like the type of progesterone that I was taking in the past. But basically what it does, it signifies your lining to eventually to shed, rather than if I wasn't going to take this, I most likely wouldn't get a bleed. If I were to guess, probably anywhere from a month to 2 months. What happens when you don't produce or ovulate or have any progesterone in your system? Have irregular periods and your body doesn't know to shed it. Now, I have about 4 more pills left, so I'm hoping that I'll get my period within a week. And then I also discussed with him that I want to try clomid naturally, and what I mean by naturally, no ultrasounds and no IUI, no trigger injection. So here it is, 150 milligrams of clomid. Again, I last used letrozole last cycle and I feel like I just didn't respond the best to it. It thinned out my lining. It wasn't too thin, but it was only an 8 when usually my lining's anywhere from a 12 to 15, so way thicker when I'm on clomid. And it only gave me 1 follicle, and I know you're probably like, oh well, 1 follicle is a good thing, but yeah, when I lasted 150, I had almost 2 follicles, so I'm hoping, I'll get the perfect follicle this time, and hopefully we'll get pregnant just with this, without everything else. I don't know. In January is when I get my new insurance that will cover some fertility treatments like IUIs and ultrasounds starting in January, so we're gonna see what happens with this, and then we're most likely gonna move on to the injectables with IUIs and monitoring and everything like that. So that's basically where I'm at right now. This has felt like the longest cycle ever. I'm just literally counting down the days to get a period, and I know it sounds obsessive, but it's mentally draining knowing that, I just want to move on. Once my cycle starts, it's going to feel like a clean slate and that I moved on. Yeah, I'm pretty much just waiting to finally get a period, because this is not a real period because I didn't ovulate. It's basically a bleed. And then I'll restart the clomid, praying something good like this happens with the clomid, and then yeah, I'll go from there, and I'll keep you guys posted with everything. Thanksgiving just passed, and I know for a lot of people, like, the holidays is a big, I don't want to say trigger, but it's a big trigger for people because for whatever reason, I feel like a lot of people announce pregnancy around the holidays, and those that are going through infertility, I know it just stings that much more just because we're in the holidays. And I know for me, like, I was sad on Thanksgiving. I was like, you know, I really should be pregnant after all these treatments and this entire year of trying. Like, I shouldn't be going through this. No one should be going through this. And I don't know, my advice, and I know it sounds like a shitty thing to do, but, and I've done it plenty of times already, but unfollow those people on Instagram, on YouTube, that are easily pregnant. Just found out they're pregnant. They're like, and I know it sounds so shitty, like, because I'm being, you know, hopefully one day we all will be pregnant when we want to be pregnant, but for the time being, it's okay to unfollow people that are pregnant, because obviously if you look at that, you're gonna feel jealous, upset, sad. Why can't that be you? Because that's exactly how I feel, and I'm being very honest here. Like, I have unfollowed, unsubscribed people that have recently gotten pregnant, because why do I need to look at that? I don't need to look at that right now. It's upsetting me. I'm already going through enough. You're already going through enough, so it's okay to do that. And even if you have people in your life that are pregnant right now, just take a step back if that's how you're feeling. So validate your feelings. It's okay to do that. And honestly, if you want to go refollow them once you feel better to do so, then go ahead. There's nothing wrong with taking a step back and trying to just avoid that, especially with the holidays now. Like, it's just, it's hard. It really is hard. And the hardest part about all of this is we don't know when it's gonna work, when it's gonna happen. And I feel like that feeling of like never knowing is what's the shitty part. I know that's what's hard with me, and the lack of control. I don't know if I'm even making sense, but that's what I'm currently doing right now. It's, you know, and I'm trying to really honor my feelings, I guess. And you really should honor your feelings too, and just do whatever you can in the meantime going through this that will make you feel better at the time.